Okay guys, we're going to talk today about how to make a soap recipe, and we're on the www.soapcalc.net, and right up here, if you get on the SoapCal website, SoapCal Live Calculator, it's right up here, so you can click on it and get in there. And there's also SoapCal directions page. So we're going to just do a basic recipe for hot process soap, and I'm going to change it from pounds to ounces. And on number 1, leave it alone. You want the NaOH. The KOH is for doing liquid soap. And then on number 2, you want to, I always go in ounces. You can do it however you want, grams, pounds, or ounces. All right, and then on the water, leave that alone. Water as of 0% of oils is 38. You want to leave that alone because with hot process soap, we need all the water we can get. All right, and then on the super fats, I'm going to teach you how I do it. So I'm going to put 0 there, no super fats, and I don't use fragrance. So I'm gonna make that 0. But if you use fragrance, find out what percentage per pound you're supposed to do, and that will and put that in there because it was like 0.5% per pound. All right, and then over here we are going to pick some oils. I think that palm oil makes a wonderful soap. A nice hard bar. So let's, if I can find the stuff, not palm kernel oil, but palm oil. Double click on that, and there's a little thing to get rid of that. Yes, I know, I want to subtract it. There we go. Palm oil, and I don't work in percentages. You can, I work in ounces. So for the palm oil, I'm going to do 13 ounces. And then I want some coconut oil because we got to have bubbles. And coconut oil is the bubbly one. And it's the 76 is the normal coconut that you'll buy. But it will be marked 92 degree. And that just makes 76 degree coconut melts at 76 degrees. And 92 degree coconut melts at 92 degrees. Alright, so on the coconut oil we're going to do 13. And then I love soybean oil. Soybean oil makes a wonderful recipe. So we'll go get us some soybean oil. It's so cheap too. You can pick it up in any grocery store. Just get a vegetable oil containers and pick them up and look on the back on the ingredients and see what it says. We're going to use 8 ounces of soybean oil. And number 5 is soap qualities, you know, and stuff like that. But this is I'm just sort of in like number 6 that's telling you about the oils. And so anyway, so now I'm going to click bold so that you can see it better here, and also multiple tabs because we want to compare. All right, so we're going to click calculate and then print preview. And now we see our recipe. All right, and it tells us for the water we need 12.92 ounces. I would just do 12.9. On the lye, we need 5.31. I think you won't be able to manage that on a scale that we mostly get, so it'd be 5.3. Oils, 34 ounces. And that's a good ratio for one of those Essential Depot molds, around 34 ounces before you put in the super fats. Okay, now we're going to go over here and we're going to figure out our super fats. So we'll just click on anything. I've clicked on sapphire oil, and I'm going to click 5 ounces and hit calculate, and it tells me that that would be 12%. So I don't want 12% super fat. I want 4% super fat. So calculate, 10%. So that's 10.52. So that's pretty fair. It's around 10% super fatted. So now we know that 4 ounces is what we need for our super fats. So I'm going to take that off and go back over here to and these are tabs up here. I'm clicking between the 2 tabs. So now in the notes, we're going to say 4 ounces of super fats will give you around 10%. Okay? All right, so now we know that 4 ounces, but we're not going to hit calculate with that in there because it'll mess up our lye ratio. And so we want to make sure our lye ratio is good, but we just wanted to know what percentage would equal around 10% for soaping for our super fats. Okay, so we put that on our notes, and now we're going to look at this recipe. Okay, hardness, good ratio is 29 to 54. You want to be high if you're doing hot processed soap, and so we're 53. Now when we add the 4 ounces of super fat, that will dilute that slightly, pull it down probably around 50, 51, so that'll be perfect. On the cleansing, we have 26. That's high. That's okay because that says 22, and so that's just a few points up, and when we dilute it with our super fats, that'll bring it down a little bit. Besides, everybody loves a nice cleaning bar, but you could alter this recipe to pull this number down. Conditioning, 42. That's really low, but when we add 4 ounces of a combination of shea butter, olive oil, and coconut oil, vitamin E, and glycerin, that's going to bring the conditioning factor up big time. I'll bring you back. Okay, guys. I halfway forgot what I was doing because I had so many customers come in. I got sidetracked. But I think we were talking about hardness and all this. So hardness, if it's not, I like to never go below 50 with a hot processed soap. And I like to be above 50 so that when I dilute it with super fats, it'll still be above 50. And then on the cleansing, 26. And that's 12 to 22, so it's over the limit. And 4 degrees, that might be a push for diluting it down to 22, so we might alter this recipe slightly. All right, and then conditioning, 44 to 69 is your recommendations. We're at 42 on conditioning, but when we add an ounce of shea butter and an ounce of olive oil and a half an ounce of coconut oil for our super fats and our vitamin E and our glycerin, that's going to change that conditioning level and boost it up, so there's no worries there. Bubble factor is 26. That's a good happy medium. It will be diluted at least a point when we add the super fats. Creamy, 16 to 48. We're at 27, so we're way creamy. That's awesome. So, and we're going to be even more creamy and probably get up into the 30s once we add that. Now, we got to get 4 ounces of super fats. And shea butter is the most awesome thing in the whole wide world. So SHEA butter, let's do an ounce. And then we're going to do olive, the most moisturizing oil with pore penetration scales, but that's okay, it's moisturizing. We're going to do an ounce, and then we're going to have an ounce coconut oil, and we'll put an ounce of that in there. And then we're going to put 1 tablespoon of glycerin, which is about a half an ounce, and then we'll put in some vitamin E. If you're you can do it 1 tablespoon to a teaspoon if you're using the diluted kind, or if you're using Essential Depot's full strength vitamin E, it's going to be like a fourth of a teaspoon, which is really hard to calculate. So you just sort of get an idea how much, and I just sort of like squirt that much on the inside the super fats because it's hard to get it out, that little fourth of an ounce measured spoons like this. It's hard to get it out once you get it in. Now we're still there with 3 ounces and a half with this little fourth of a teaspoon, not really counting that much. So we could increase our shea butter by half an ounce, and that's what I would do instead of the olive oil, because there ain't nothing like shea butter in soap for moisturizing. Now, why did I do this? Oh, and I've had this thing going and you couldn't see what I was doing. Alright, there we go. So now you can see what I got going there. And this would be 10% super fat to this recipe. Alright. So now let's see if we can improve it, because we are a little high on the cleansing, and that would be our coconut oil. So we might, and by the way, it's 38 ounces, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 42 ounces after our super fats, so it's a 42 ounce batch. So we might do 9 ounces of that and change the palm oil to 12 and increase the soybean. Remember, we've got our multiple tabs clicked. So we'll hit calculate recipe, print preview. And so now we're still 52. Cleansing is still 26. Conditioning has been bumped up, I think, a bit. Let me see. Yeah, cleansing was, conditioning was bumped up a point. 26 still on the bubbly. It was 26 before. 26 on the creamy. It's 27 before, so we lost a bit of creamy, but that's okay because we're going to add all that other stuff. But we didn't do anything for the cleansing. The cleansing is that darn coconut oil. So I guess we will have to, instead of doing that, we'll have to put this back to 13. And let's see what happens if we go down to 12 on our coconut oil. Calculate, print preview. And now we have reduced our cleansing to 24, but we've also reduced our hardness to 51. So what we need to do is we need to down that back to 8, and we'll take our palm oil up to 14. So that's 12 coconut, 14 palm, 8 coconut. Calculate, print preview. Now we're back up to 52. 24 on the cleansing, 43 on conditioning, that's much better. 24 on bubbly, that's just great. And creamy, 16 to 48, we're at 28, so that's good. So this recipe ultimately is a little bit better, but it's a touch soft. See, we got 52. So what we might do is we might add some stearic acid and see what 1 ounce of stearic acid would do to it. And now we're back up to 54. So now we've got 54, back up to 54. 23 on our cleansing, still in a good range, just 1 point off. We're going to dilute. 42, but we're going to bump the 40 from that up, and I'll zone you into that. So now you can see that these ranges are much better. We got 23 bubbly, which is a good happy medium. We got creamy 30, and that's a good medium, and it's going to be even more creamier once we put the super fats in. Conditioning 42, which is slightly under, but then when we put our super fats in, we're going to hit the mark. And we are at 23 on cleansing, which is 1 point up. Once we dilute, that'll pull down. With our super fats, that'll pull down. And then 54 and 29 to 54, we're at 54 on our hardness. So we are totally rocking this soap recipe. Okay, so this is the one. We will take our notes from the original, hit copy, put those down there, and now we are ready to print. And we have ourselves a soap recipe. You can name it right here, and you have we have where's the ounces? 12 ounces of coconut, 14 ounces of palm, 8 ounces of soybean, stearic acid 1 ounce. We are going to do lye of 5.4, and we're going to do water of 13.3. And you can double this recipe. You can take this recipe and mark it in half. And no, you cannot use any other oil. If you decide you don't want to use soybean, you want to use olive, although olive makes a soft soap, and it'll be a lot harder to make the soap hit the right calculations for hardness. You have got to refigure this recipe, but you can, because you just been taught how. Woohoo! So that's how to use the soap calculator. And I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I thank you very much for hitting the like button on this video. I've been having trouble with people doing the opposite for meanness, and so I need all the likes I can get, and of course they're hitting the dislike button because they want my videos not to be seen as well in the search criteria. And I thank you so much for hitting the like button. Thank you for using my Essential Depot link. You can find it and my free soaping recipes if you don't want to try to do this yourself. You want to go use one of my recipes that I give away for free at www.kimberlymcnutt.com. KIMBERLYMCNUTT.com. Woohoo! Oh, we could do that so nifty. Look at here. Look at here. Look at here. I got an idea. It's so nifty. So you can just go to www.kim. That's not a dot. Oh. It's been fussing at me about my word program ever since I took it to the computer store. Okay, KIMBERLYMCNUTT.com. That's it. That's where the free recipes are. And also a link to Essential Depot if you'd be so kind as to use it. If you'd like to buy some soap from me, you can find that at essential-soaps, that's plural.com. Woohoo! And if you would like to see my store website, which is not nearly as nice as it should be, that's at cornerstone-market.com. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. All right. Y'all have a totally great day! Exclamation point. And you keep soaping. Bye, everybody. Oh, thanks for watching my commercials. It helps me make these videos.